I'm not getting permanent at all. Okay. Hello everyone, this is Barrel Dragon 65 again. I appreciate I'll do the best I can with this. This is the review of Season 5 of Daria, the final season. This time we learned stuff that ponders us throughout the entire series. Like why Quinn keeps saying that Daria is her cousin. And insight of how Daria came this whole misfit outcast persona. The episode, the season starts with the episode Phys Ed. The school is running out of funding, and they decide, well, cuts have to be made. But then Ultra Cola representative comes in and says, we'll endorse the school, but you're gonna have to promote our soda. The reason why the school need cuts, they're using outdated maps, no paint, color copier broke, and Miss Lee used the some funding to make a satellite transmission jammer. You're right, satellite transmission jammer. The suit and Daria becomes concerned like this is going overboard because pop machines every 50 feet, like Starbucks all over a city. I've never been to Starbucks. It's just that you see a Starbucks across the street from Starbucks, you know the end is here. Daria talks to the superintendent. He cares more about money than image and all that stuff. It gets to the point that the Ultra Cola says, either you do this, do that, do this, to the point that the football team has to forfeit game because they were forced drinking Ultra Cola to keep their grades up. Miss Lee goes cuckoo, grabs a fire axe, breaks all the vending machines, tells all the students, get out there and drink everything. Drink all the cola. Drink all the cola. She gets committed to a mental institution, but she comes back in a couple of episodes. Next one is called Sappy Anniversary. This is Daria and Tom's 6-month anniversary together. Daria feels she's being treated like furniture. There's a dream sequence. And Jake works for an internet startup company and gets addicted to the internet. Fat Like Me. This is the episode that Sandy, president of Fashion Club, changes her attitude to Quinn. Sandy breaks her leg thanks to her little brothers. And this is karma, basically, because before she broke her leg, she was talking about requirements to be in the fashion club, and they got to such complete requirements. Causing Sandy to eat, and she becomes fat. Not fat like me. Don't judge me. Don't even comment about that. Daria and Jane makes bets. Makes random frivolous belts like, what is Kevin gonna do now? How many pieces of candy are in a bag? All that. The fashion club is basically destroyed because Sandy says she's quitting, and she kind of pulls in Quinn with her, saying that, oh, our friendship's so tight. If I go, you're going with me. Quinn's going, no. We also find that Tiffany and Stacy do not like Sandy. They finally show it. And there's one scene that Sandy is wearing that fat lady's clothing. Kind of hilarious. Quinn and Sandy at the end minute of relation or friendship because Quinn motivate Sandy to lose weight. Next episode is Camp Fear. This is basically Daria and Quinn's summer camp reunion thing. There's not much of it. This is the episode we get the reason why Quinn is telling everyone that Daria is her cousin. She's just trying to make Quinn's just trying to make friends. And some of our girls were mentioned about Daria, and this is when they were young, like 6, 5, or that age card. And Quinn goes, "Oh, she is my cousin." We also learn more about Daria, how she was as a child. The story of Dee. Daria makes a story, and Tom pulls a suggestion to why don't you have it published. And when Daria was about to mail out the story, Mr. O'Neill is behind her in the post office. He sees the envelope. He's happy, excited, and Daria tells him, "Please don't say anything about it. This is Mr. O'Neill we're talking about. He sees something happen, he's going to show the whole world." Daria gets rejected, but not the kind of rejection. It's more, this is rejection like, "We like your story, but we don't feel like publicizing it at this point. But we do look forward to read more." Lucky strike. The teachers of Lawndale High go on strike thanks to Miss Lee not giving them higher in the school board, giving them higher raises and all that. Because of this, there are, I wouldn't say substitute teachers, but fill-ins. For Mr. DiMartino, they have an old elderly lady that believes it's still the first grade. Especially the test she gives him is what's the colors of the American flag? Who was the first president of the United States? Blah, blah. Simple first grade questions. The English teacher turns out to be a pervert and tries to get in Tiffany's pants. I'm not joking. You see the episode, he almost blatantly says fondling your hair, all that. Thanks to Helen going to Miss Lee, in fact, going over Miss Lee's head. To tell that, hey, this teacher is a pervert, get rid of him. Miss Lee decides to punish Helen by making Daria the fill-in teacher for English. Trent makes songs for the strikers. Jane makes signs for it. Daria gives everyone a test. Quinn gets a B because she acknowledges, hey, she may be my teacher, but she's also a sister. In fact, she finally admits to everyone that Daria is my sister. Stacy and Tiffany is going, yeah, we know about it. And it's true, they do know that that she is Quinn's sister. Sandy, is oblivious. Art burn. Jane makes artwork for art gallery that sells replicas of masterpieces because her gazebo got destroyed and they said, well, forgive it, it's just an old gazebo anyway. When Jane's brother shows up and going, oh, this is the naming gazebo, our parents named us from here. That turns out to be a full-fledged story because Wynn wanted to change his name. Parents are going, no, Wynn is a good name. Yeah, Upside Down Van Gogh, $10 million. We know that Mr. Taylor, Brittany's father, is not dumb. He knows that this painting is a replica. It's not the real deal. The Fashion Club decides to sue a caricature and try to use Helen to sue, and Helen's going, you cannot sue him, you cannot ban him, you cannot deport him, incarcerate, all that. One J at a time. The Morgendorfs decide to ask Tom to come have dinner with them. Quinn decides to get a boyfriend. Spoiler, she dumps all three, Joey, Jane, Jesse. Daria and Quinn feels like about failure at a relationship. It's not. When I mentioned in the introduction of this retrospective, I mentioned about 99% of the songs were changed. The song "Whoop There It Is" in the episode because it is important, because Tom, Jamie, and Jake are singing it in the car, and you can hear the music in the background. Life in the Past Lane. Jane dates a Prohibition era guy, post-war era guy. But he is young, he just dresses like it, acts like it. He is too strict. His name is Nathan. Upchuck does magic, and Stacy's the assistant. And Stacy shows off Sandy. Because basically Stacy's just told Sandy at the end of the episode that I'm not naive as you think you are. I'm not nice and kind. I can just change attitude. Daria feels that her relationship with Tom is in a rut. Miss Lee uses hypnotic suggestions. I will tie my earrings to Lawndale High. I will tie my earrings to Lawndale High. I do not have a speech problem. There's a joke about Sammy Davis's pants, and Miss Lee needed money for microchipping the sports equipment. Who's ever pillaging the basketball, all the balls, stop it. Aunt Nauseum. Helen and her sisters Rita and Amy. Rita shows up first. What happens is that Rita's daughter is having a divorce and wants Helen to be the divorce attorney. Well, back and forth find that, well, she signed a prenup, and then near the end, they got back together. Jake is using a Civil War cookbook. At the end of the episode, Daria and Quinn act like Helen, Rita, Amy to kind of look at them and, hey, we are related. Everything you're doing, we're going to act the same way. Daria is spending more time with the family than Tom. Tom's just trying to help Daria pull away. At the end, it does work out. Okay, the last 3 episodes of the series are kind of tied together because they are going in connection with the final movie. The first episode, Prize Fighter. Talks about college scholarships. Hal mentions that it's time because you're getting closer to go to college, you need to get scholarships. Daria does a essay for $10,000 from the Wizardry Foundation, but it turns out that Daria, Jody, and Upchuck are finalists in this scholarship. Daria then finds out that the company at the foundation is racist and sexist. Mentions that they only have 2 women and 1 African American in the company of over 1,000 people. Daria does bring it up to the interviewer, and it blows out proportion because the interviewer said, well, out of all the essays, yours was the most lighthearted. Yours was the one we liked the most. But after you saying that, you're disqualified. In fact, all three of them did not get the scholarship. It mentions that the company cares more about money than hiring practices. My night at Daria's. This is where things are going to be into the movie. Daria and Tom are reading books in Daria's room. They accidentally fell asleep. It's 4 in the morning. Tom is still in Daria's room. Tom tries to sneak out, but Jake catches him. Helen finds out and thought that Daria and Tom were doing it. They were not. Quinn hears about it and she kind of says to Tiffany. Tiffany says to Stacy. Stacy told Sandy. Sandy told everyone. Jake gets sushi poisoning. Actually, it's kind of gross. I mean, a parasite that grows. Daria and Tom does decide, well, maybe we should go up to the next level and do get romantic. Daria doesn't necessarily have cold feet. It's more like she says feels it's not ready yet. And Tom does kind of agree. Ever know he liked candles and had flowers out. Okay. Okay. The final episode of the TV series, Boxing Daria. The episode begins with only sound. There's no picture. It's a black screen, but you're hearing sound of a car tire squealing and a man saying, "Miss, are you okay? Are you okay?" The Morgendorf's refrigerator breaks. They get a brand new one. When the guys show up to switch fridges, they leave the big refrigerator box out in the yard. Daria sees it and starts to have memory flashbacks like, I've been in this situation before. It turns out when she was younger, when she was 6 years old, she overheard her parents fighting about her. Maybe saying that she's trying to fit in. Jake says, well, maybe she does not want to fit in. Little Daria goes into this box that is colorized as her own private house, closed door, reading books. This is basically how we learned how she became a misfit and outcast because, like I said earlier about 2 seasons ago, that Aunt Amy resembles Daria. But Daria has it more down, not depressive state. Tom is at a family wedding, and Daria decides near the end that maybe she wants to see Tom. She drives out, it's raining, and all of a sudden one of the cars in front of her caught hydroplanes, causing all the other cars to be stopped and made a crash. So Daria manages to swerve right into the curb, into the grass, and that's when we hear the sound, what we hear from the very beginning of the episode. It then goes to a restaurant that Daria has called Jane to come. Jane walks into the restaurant and Daria then hugs her. Both Jane and Daria talk, and then Daria says, well, you're right, I could call Tom, but I trust you more than Tom. That is going to play out in the final movie. Season 5 does answer many questions. Oh, I forgot to mention, in the episode that the teachers go on strike, We find out in a kind of way that Miss Lee has seriously toned down security, and there's a sequence there that we kind of find out more about her past or her fantasies, which I'm not going to go into. I give season 5 a good 8. There's a lot of good comedy, a lot of lessons to be learned, all that. My next review will be the final movie and final notes of the whole series. The movie isn't college yet, where Daria goes to college. Well, not go to college. Picks a college, and then we find out will her relationship with Tom grow, or will it just be shattered? Her relationship with Jane, Quinn's future, basically everyone's future. This is Time 65. Thank you for watching the Season 5 review of Daria. Up next, pretty soon, don't know when, will be the finale movie. Isn't college yet. This is Time 65. Thank you very much.